I heard...
Yes. That's all I... You got.
Uchiwape Baba has
Once you become a Sith, you can do anything. You can feel the power coursing through you. None of you fools can compare to me.
Itana dana titai, kibi kasa, ingwa muirandwana, kachopa bogra shankon tachita.
Please! You're jealous. You're jealous of my power. You think you deserve this medallion, don't you? Let's just see. See? I have the power to do anything!
Pudu, Tunirama na praka donka searcha, chupapanki.
Sniveling fool! You would ever belong beside me in the academy. I'd rather kill you now and save us the trouble. What's this? It seems I have an audience. Look, Jedi, just keep walking. Unless you expect the same. You can't stop me! You first, human! And then she dies. Ha! You asked for this!
Hey, what's this? Looks like we found ourselves a bit of sport, my friends.
This is good. I want to celebrate my acceptance into the academy.
Me too. So how about it, chump? Ready to die? I'm eager to blow off some steam after those tests. But we do, isn't it obvious?
Achuta, wonga kun pistol pikin kuyana, tongpatoga smaktelia.
All right, let's go. Consider yourself lucky, stranger.
Ah, what is this you bring me, Shardan?
It is none other than the sword of Ajunta Paul, Master.
Fool. All the trouble you went through for your deception, and you did not even make an effort to verify the sword's authenticity.
Master, but what do you mean?
There is no place for fools amongst the Sith. Begone.
Ah!
You asked for this!
Sure.
Down you go! Time to rumble!
Let's see what you got.
What? Yes?
Another idiotic student has stumbled into my little web, eh? Well, the contact nerve toxin in the air should knock you out quickly enough. Welcome. Awake already, are you? Good. This is the tomb of Sith Lord Tulak Horde, if you don't know. I've taken up residence here for now. It's dusty and full of critters, but it's home. Oh, yes. Introductions, of course. I suppose it is time, isn't it? This other student here that I captured earlier, you should know well enough. His name is Miko. Say hello, Miko. Poor lad. He's had a hard day. My name is Jorak Uln. I was once the head of the academy, so I'm sure you've heard of me. No? Blast it. What have they been teaching you children in that academy these days? Anyhow, I'd like to propose that we move on to the main event. You see, I'd like to discover if you've got the pluck of an old-fashioned Sith. Most of the Drek Uthar has been passing through these days is so pathetic. Take young Miko here. I already tested him, didn't I, Miko? Yes, you're welcome. You see, Miko here has the cruel disposition of a Sith, but not the gumption that I'm looking for. I'm sure we could. We could chat all day about it. But where would that get us? I'm quite determined, and you are quite helpless. Perhaps you have some questions. I'm not above delaying the test a bit. The results are always the same. Why then you go free. I'll even pass on to you my own personal thesis on ancient Sith philosophies. They're based on all I've learned studying Tulak's tomb. They'll make you a better Sith, I'm sure. The chances of you passing, however, are sadly remote. Now, is that any kind of attitude to take with higher education? I'm doing you a favor, really. So then, this is how it goes. I'm going to pose a moral question to you. Get it right, and I torture Miko. Get it wrong, and I torture you. Miko here is a bit weak. He probably won't be able to take much more punishment. I know. Get too many wrong, and you'll die yourself. I don't know what you think of Miko. Maybe you don't like him. Maybe you think he deserves to be murdered. Well, here's your chance, fair enough? Oh? Just how long have you been a Sith, anyhow? A bit dainty around the edges, aren't we? Well then, any last comments before we begin, Miko?
We can both survive. Attacking together.
Now, dear lad, do you really think your friend here will answer questions wrong just to spare little you? Risking their own life? And how many correctly answered questions before you die? No, don't be silly. You had your chance, remember? On that note, let's begin. Now then, your immediate superior amongst the Sith is an effective commander and a fine leader. He trusts you and you like him. You see an opportunity to kill him. What do you do? Incorrect! What sort of thinking is that? If all the Sith thought as you did, we would all be soft like the Jedi. Ah, well, it's time for your punishment. And so we come to round 2. You come across a group of humans who are threatened by dangerous animals. They plead for help, offering you a reward. What do you do? So you've made a profit, and now you have some sniveling, useless fools trading after you. No. Bad idea. At any rate, here is your punishment. Let's see. Ah, yes. You discover an aspect of the Force that gives you great power. Do you share it and strengthen the Sith as a whole? Or keep it to yourself? You gained an advantage and you share it freely? Let them rip the secret from my dead hands, I say. I mean, share it? Are you mad? Well, you did ask for this. It's for your own good. Still going? All right, then. One of your underlings has made a major mistake which makes you look bad. He's normally very competent and skilled. Do you kill him, or give him another chance? Another chance to make you look poor to your superiors? To make it look like you are weak and deserving of attack? No. Think again. Not that good help is easy to find. Oh well, here's your reward. Last question. You're about to die. Do you pass on your knowledge to your apprentice to make him stronger? Or do you use your last breath to strike at your enemies? Fool! It's a trick question. A true Sith never dies. I'll enjoy this one. Time for your medicine. Now, this is odd. The test is over and you're both still alive. Well, that's never happened before. What to do? I suppose this means you can go, Miko. We'll have to just figure out what to do with our friend here. Run along now.
Or I could use the Force to free them. And we could kill you. Seems you didn't think of that, old man.
What? Mutiny! Behave, students! That's it! Detention for all of you! Permanent detention!
Guess he wasn't a true Sith after all. I can't believe that I'm alive. You saved me. You could have easily just answered those questions and let me die. Yes. Well, I see what you mean. I've never been on that side of the fence before. It makes you think. I'd be dead if you weren't... if you were proper Sith. But you're not, are you? Don't worry. I won't tell anyone. You mean the light side? I've never thought about that. Can you even go back? I've done some... I've hurt a lot of people.
There's always remorse and atonement. That's the harder path, though, boy. Think you can do that?
I don't think the light side is for me. But maybe neither are the Sith. Maybe it's time for me to leave. Thanks, I suppose. And good luck. What?
Yes?
Sure. Yes? What?
Yes, intruder detected. The Master does not wish to be disturbed by noise. Initiate attack sequence.
Too much audio input. Audio systems overloading. Must destroy source of disturbance. Must kill sentience.
You asked for this! You asked for this! You asked for this! Ready? Yes?
Someone told me you had an encounter with the Hermit himself. How is Jorak these days, huh? Still Puritan and longing for the old days?
You? My name is Lasho. Remember it, for I'll be the one who earns the prestige to move on. You'll have to be satisfied with next year, I suppose. Just figure that out, did you? It just so happens that I have a surefire way of pulling ahead in this little contest of ours. You don't really have a chance. I suppose I could use some help. The artifact I know of certainly won't be easy to take. But why should I work with you? You make a decent case. I suppose it's possible that Master Uthar could award both of us prestige. We'd be ahead of the others for sure. I want something out of this first, however. I want you to tell me about some lead you have for where I could find more prestige. Oh, I hadn't heard about that. Fair enough, I will have to look into it. You've given me a lead, so I'll let you in on my plan. The artifact that I've discovered is an ancient Jedi holocron. Unfortunately, the holocron lies in the gullet of the Tukata Mother. I can arrange for us to meet her, but you're going to have to help me in putting her down. That makes sense to you? Go into the valley when you're prepared enough. I'll be amongst the central pillars near the north end. Remember, the central pillars in the valley. I'll be waiting, so don't take too long.
So you managed to kill Shardon, did you? Good news travels quickly. Well done. He wouldn't have made a good Sith anyway. One less opponent is an excellent result, regardless of how it occurs, correct? Now then, something you needed. I did. I also said that you didn't need to know more. Why are you asking? I see. Very well. I suppose there's no harm in the tale. As I said, I was originally a slave to one of the Hutts. The Hutts control everything on Sleheyron, and a slave is nothing to them. I was determined not to be nothing. One night when the drunken worm had me alone in his chambers, I stabbed him and escaped the compound. I stole onto a cargo ship and was not discovered by the crew until they reached the next system. They left me for dead on a desolate planetoid, alone. But that was fine by me. I was glad to be anywhere other than Sleheyron. It was not luck that I was eventually rescued, of course. The Force was strong with me, though I didn't know that at the time. Not until the Jedi told me, that is. I'd rather not discuss it. Perhaps another time. Is there something else you needed? I have been involved in the... Not unless you are accompanied by Master Uthar, no. It is strictly forbidden. And I truly doubt you could bypass the doors to the tomb with anything less than ship blasters. Even then, perhaps. We could learn much about the history of the ancient Sith. why they were on Korriban and why they left. Perhaps we could learn more about the origin of the Force itself. With that knowledge could come great power. As you... You must impress. The first and easiest way would be for you to learn the code of the Sith, and shall I go on? The only other idea I can suggest to you is that you head into the Valley of the Dark Lord. It's possible you might find some artifacts. I would prefer not to discuss that. Why? There is no point. Have I asked you about your past? There is always harm in becoming too vulnerable. Is there something else you must impress Master the first. Shall I? The only other idea, it's possible. I would prefer. Why? There is always. Is there something? We could perhaps. Not. We could perhaps. Not. As you. Why? I see. You certainly have odd notions for one hoping to become a Sith. I'll play along. For now. Let's see. After escaping from Sleheyron, I was found by the Jedi. They took me in and trained me, even though I was a bit older than most Padawan. Not really, no. I never progressed beyond Padawan. I had discipline, but no peace. And after my treatment at the hands of the Hutts, there was little room in me for the ways of the Jedi. I wanted to use the Force to free the other slaves I knew, to fight for what I knew was right. The Jedi restrained me until I couldn't stand it anymore. They claim the dark side is evil, but that isn't so. Sometimes anger and hatred are so deserved and right. Sometimes things change because of it. No, not yet. But my anger has not diminished, nor my desire to see change. The more time I spend with the Sith, the more I am certain that one day I will be able to fight as I must. I know this may sound strange, but only my compassion stands in my way now. Once that is gone, let the slavers beware. Yes, of course. I mean losing my compassion, as in holding back. But enough of that. I have talked about myself too much. Surely you are tired of it. I can help you. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. Simple words, yet easily misunderstood. Would you care for me to explain anything? The Jedi would have you believe that peace is a desirable goal. That peace of the spirit is the way the Force is mastered. That a lack of conflict betters man. We know different. It is our passion, our hate, and our desire that fuels the Force. It is conflict that improves the lot of civilization and single being both. Conflict forces one to better oneself. It forces change, growth, adaptation, evolution, or death. These are not our laws, but the universe's. Without conflict, you have only stagnation. I am not surprised. The Force is strong with you. Master it and it shall serve you well. Come back soon. Greetings, my... Come...
Yes? Yes?
Yes, what's on your mind? Cool. Let's... You got... Ready?
Yes?
Yes?
I heard an explosion in there. Did you destroy the assassin droid? Oh well, I guess it's good that the deed is done. Hope you stomped it good for my friends. At any rate, if you haven't already, you might want to go and see Master Uthar about that reward. Prestige is gold, you know.
You?
Ah, yes, it's the same old story, is it? I would fight you for the sword if I could, but I am hardly that. Still, it would be wonderful if I could get a chance to study the artifact someday. Congratulations on...
There you are, finally. If you were any later in showing up, we would have had to abandon this. I've been calling to the Takata mother in their language. She should respond fairly... Ah, here she comes now. Get ready. This will not be easy. She's a tough beast. Wonderful! The beast is dead. We work better together than I would have hoped. And here is the holocron. Such a small thing to be so valuable and require so much effort to obtain. I'll just run along now and give this to Master Uthar. I'll be sure to tell him of your contribution, naturally. Forget it. I'm not waiting up for you. That wasn't our plan anyway. Over my dead...
Down you go!
Greetings. I don't think I've seen you at the Academy before. Well, it seems that the Sith once inhabited Korriban a long time ago. There was a fortress here that was destroyed at some point before the Sith abandoned the planet completely. Why they left, we don't know. Perhaps the Jedi drove them off. The tombs in this valley are the only parts of the fortress we found mostly intact. Some. Most of the interesting stuff is still in the tombs, but Master Uthar prefers to leave them to be explored by the students as a challenge. In time, they will probably become safe enough for us to enter. Until that time, however, we're stuck to digging up the valley piece by piece. There's 4 tombs here. On the right are the tombs of Ajunta Paul and Tulak Horde. On the left are the tombs of Marco Ragnos and Nagasato. All 4 were ancient Sith lords. That's the first tomb on the right. There's a rumor that there's a powerful artifact still in there, but nobody's retrieved it yet. That tomb supposedly has ancient battle droids and traps that are still functioning. It's amazing that their power sources have lasted so long, really. That's the farthest tomb on the right. We don't know much about Tulak Horde, unfortunately. The Takata have a nest in that tomb, I think. That's the first tomb on the left. Someone mentioned that a crazy droid has holed itself up in there, but I don't know much. Nothing. All right. Greetings, young one. You have much to do yet. Then finish the peace is a lie. That is only... No. Ah, the ones I... Indeed. We checked the caves and found only a couple of bodies. Perhaps the Chirac ate them. No, it is just as good, I suppose. The lesson is learned, I believe. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you the victor. I have matters. Ah, finally, the genuine sword. I knew that this relic would be unearthed in time. I can feel the power flowing through it.
We should have kept that. It could have made a...
Well done. You have impressed me greatly. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you the victor. I have matters to attend to. Yes, so I hear. I've had reports from some students that ventured into the tomb after you left and found the parts. Well done. I am impressed. You have rid us of a potential nuisance. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you. Ah, my old master. Still, unless you bring back something of his, some writings or similar, I am unimpressed. Jorak's fate means nothing to me. Oh, let me see. It appears my old master was busy studying the writings in one of the tombs. How interesting. I do hope you had to pry this from his dead fingers. Regardless, you have impressed me with your worthy act. Go now. You have done well, but you have not impressed me enough to declare you the victor. I have matters to attend to. I had heard that such an artifact existed. Tell me, young one, did you acquire the device by yourself? So I see. And Lasho, does she yet live? Well done. You gained an artifact through trickery, and eliminated an opponent at the same time. That is deserving of great prestige. You have impressed me enough, by my estimation, to become a Sith in full. Congratulations, young one. You have bested the others quite completely. You have but one final test which you must take, and this requires us to travel to the tomb of Nagasado, in the Valley of the Dark Lords. I would advise you to be rested and equipped before we leave. Return to your quarters now and seek me out in the morning. When you return, make sure that you have all you will need, for you will face your test alone. Go, and may the Force serve you well.
You